Hey, it's Ed here. Today we're taking a look at technical analysis for Bitcoin with Elliott Wave Theory. Couple of advertisements here at the start. I finally completed the Elliott Wave and RSI Advanced course, so if you want to master the RSI and want to learn how it can be utilized properly with Elliott Wave Theory, check out the course on Udemy. I've also founded Countertrend Capital with these guys over here, so if you are looking for signal service and more education, check us out here on countertrendcapital.com. And lastly, if you want to educate yourself and support me, you can take a look at Patreon, where you can find Elliott Wave Basics course, access to weekly live streams and extra content overall. Thank you for your support. Let's get into the charts next. So here we are on 1 hour time frame for Bitcoin futures chart, and today we're going to be focusing on this structure over here, starting from the lows of around 10th of March. Again, up to these points of around the 16th of February, we had a 5-way move ending at these highs, and then again, we had a WXY or an ABC coming down. Depending on how you want to be labeling this, it's fine as an ABC as well, or a WXY like I have it. The extension target here gets the 1.618, which is not very typical for WXY to go past that. So again, that was one of the maximum targets that we had. Since then, again, we have had this potential B wave up in here, where we had, again, the retracement of this wave A as the maximum 1.618 retracement for that wave B. So if it goes any higher than this current price that we had here in 28.94k, then this is out the door. But again, it is still possible, this count. Now, more local structures. We have been talking about this count for quite some time, where we had a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. Now, what we have to consider here is the vast amount of divergences. Now, we have to consider whether this drop here is actually done and it has used all the divergences or the power of all these divergences. That is completely possible. We came back on higher time frame to these support bands here and on RSI, and again since then again we rallied in 3, which is not very bullish sign anymore. Again, there is of course a chance where we are going to be rallying a bit more higher here in the bullish scenario, which I'm showing in this die count later, but to me it's not that likely. Now, if we want to be still bullish and have this as a 5-way structure completing, we would still be expecting this to come lower. I don't really see this being a possibility for a 1-2, 1-2 based on RSI here, having these divergences in place. It just don't make too much sense to me. Now where am I expecting this to come to is at least the 23.6. This 23.6 has been more accurate than the 38.2 that I've been previously using. But yeah, the 23.6 is probably the minimum that I need to be using going forward with crypto at least. So that would be Saturday as the minimum amount of time for this correction to be done, if this indeed is the high. Now, talking about the other bull count, which was something like this, again, having the wave 1 top in here instead of being in here is giving us the possibility of having this some kind of diagonal. Again, this structure here is not really telling us much other than this whole thing is done here in the middle. I don't really like it having this as the wave 4 anymore based on the RSI, but there is a chance of course that we would have this as some kind of 4 here. We did not overlap with the wave 1 with the wave 4. However, I've still labeled this in this kind of diagonal fashion, because otherwise if we are not labeling in diagonal, it just looks horrible. The extension targets are really not meeting, so I'm just considering this as an alternate for now. But yeah, keep that in mind. The way we can rally here, since we had a 3-way structure in here, is the only possibility is another diagonal. And again, this would become a wave 1, this would become a wave 2, 3, 4, and 5. And at that point, again, I would be expecting this to stop, even with this count, which is the more bullish count. We'll see how high this gets. If it goes just slightly beyond the 1.618, then I still might consider this having the potential for ABC. I'm not really liking the count anyway, since this is kind of looking very impulsive, this whole structure. So again, this being a 5-way structure, it just doesn't fit the B wave, of course. But yeah, that's that. Those are the more bullish counts that I have at the moment, but I'm still looking for larger dump or correction after possible one more high, or if this whole thing is already done, then we can be, of course, looking for more downside already. I'm already in shorts, and I will be adding if we go up higher the way I want it to go to higher. Again, I'm not just adding based on if we just create one more high. I'm not just adding there blindly. I'm adding when I see this forming into that diagonal that I'm expecting. If it does not form into that, I'm not adding to my position, and I just might get stopped out. But that's fine. That's just trading. The bear scenario, which again fits more into that WXY or this ABC, sorry, is this kind of scenario where we have this as an wave A, then looking for wave B, and then C. Now again, it is still possible to create this this whole structure becoming a 3 in here. This would be 4 and then 5 later, and then we would have the same exact diagonal here. Again, if we are just looking at proportions, it just doesn't look good. That's why I don't really like this. The better structure for me is that wave 5 here is done, and wave B would be done as well. And I'm not quite sure how I want to be labeling this structure coming down. Again, this was the area where we had the FOMC pump and dump on S&P. This was the pump and more significant dump later on. But yeah, that is that. Very choppy. I'm sure you can be labeling this in 5 waves. Probably even smaller time frames do have some kind of divergence here. Here, yeah, we do. Here. So there is definitely a chance that we would be just labeling in 5. But we did not take out the highs here, at least on this chart, which is the one that I'm trading. So yeah, that's basically that. Having this as a 5, we would be expecting more lower lows here to be taken in place, and this would be the wave 2, wave 1, 2, and again that would be based on the expectation that this would be a B wave. And yeah, that would be that. ABC, the minimum target, if that would be done, would be the 0.618, which would be around 25.3k. Again, that is not the expectation. Expectation would be at least 1 to 1, but again, that is still making it so that it is running flat. But again, that is not the most common pattern. As we had previous structures as a 5-way structures, I'd be expecting more likely to be something else than the not ABC count overall. So probably some kind of 1, 2 or AB, where this whole thing in here was an A, and then we'd be looking for a bit higher prices. Again, we are still within this area where we are not close to the 0.618, but we're not too close yet to the 1 to 1 either. So we'll see if that is going to hold true. 1 to 1 would be again at 29.6k, and that probably would be the target for the diagonal that we would have here. But I think that is going to do it. That's the expectations I have here for Bitcoin for now. Again, if you made it this far into the video, I would appreciate the likes and comments on this video. If you want to educate yourself, check out the Patreon and the course on Udemy for the potential trade setups and more education apart from as well, or including Elliott Waves and potentially some SMC concepts as well. Check out CTC. All the links in the bio. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.